Before we get started, I just want to thank Hubspot for sponsoring today's video. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the topics of productivity, motivation, and really overall just how you can stay working to your fullest potential, whether you work from home or in an office. How do you stay productive and motivated? How do you avoid burning out? How do you stay in the zone when you're working? These are all questions that I get from my community, my friends, and pretty much just anyone that I chat with about work. We've gone through so many huge life changes in the last 3 years, and I find that a lot of people are still just trying to get their groove back. As a matter of fact, studies show that 28% of workers are finding themselves feeling distracted when they're working. So how do you stay motivated and shift your focus back onto work? Today, I'm partnering with HubSpot and sharing with you some tips on staying productive with work, even when it feels really hard to. I honestly use HubSpot's free resources so much when I'm sourcing content or looking for research for my own content, for blog posts I write for work, for social media content. So I'm super excited to be collaborating with HubSpot on this video and sharing some of the tips that they give in their free productivity guide. I've also asked you to send in some questions via my Discord channel for this video, so I'm gonna be answering some of those for you guys as well. If you guys are looking for a ton more productivity tips, all neatly packaged in a lovely PDF, make sure to go check out HubSpot's free downloadable guide. I will include the link in the description. A lot of the tips that I'm sharing in this video are from this guide, but they have tons more other tips and tricks on stuff like getting over an afternoon slump, how to communicate better, and even stuff like how to make your work from home or remote working situation more productive. I love that it is all wrapped up in a pretty little PDF because you can download it, save it on your computer like I have, or even on your e-reader, and just keep it there as a reminder to reread it when you are feeling a bit of a slump coming on, or you're just not able to get in the zone. So the link to this guide will be in the description box below. I highly recommend you guys check it out. It's free, it's a downloadable, like why not? So I want to start this video off by talking about the morning routine. I believe that the first few hours of your day can really set the tone for your entire day. With a few wrong decisions, you can find yourself at like 11 a.m. wondering where your morning went and why it's already kind of almost midday. I've definitely been in that situation myself. I think one of the keys to having a productive workday actually starts before your workday does. I've tried to build this healthy morning routine to stick to that I know will set my day up with positivity and help alleviate any anxiety or stress I may feel about the day. For me personally, this includes going for a walk with my doggie, Mika, and journaling. And then of course, when I can, fitting in a workout or a meditation session as well really just helps to complete that stress cycle and just make me feel so good about the rest of the day. I try to make sure I only do things that make me feel calmer in the mornings rather than just jumping into work or emails, because often that's gonna make me feel flustered and sort of like, I don't know, hurried and just frustrated about the start of the day. Okay, so I've been asked before, how do you make a habit stick? If you haven't read this book, go and read it. This is Atomic Habits by James Clear. But James Clear says the seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. And in order to build a new habit, you need to focus less on your goals and more on the systems to get you there. So what's the difference between goals and systems? Well, goals are the results that you want to achieve, which I don't want to diminish the importance of goals because goals are very important in life. But what's more important are systems, which are about the processes that lead you to achieving whatever you want to achieve. Habits are all about the compound interest of minute little self-improvements. Getting just 1% better every single day is going to count for a lot down the road. I know a lot of people will try really hard to build a habit, but when they don't see an immediate result, they'll give up, they'll feel frustrated, and they just can't understand why they can't make a habit stick. But the fact of the matter is, small changes will often appear to make zero difference for quite some time until you cross a critical threshold where then it begins to compound over time. He says the most powerful outcomes of any compound process are delayed, aka you have to be patient. I recently read this quote that really resonated with me in a deep way, and it was something that Tammy Mai posted on her story. But essentially she was talking about how she's been able to keep up this daily fitness routine not because she wakes up every single day feeling motivated, but because she wakes up every day and sets the intention about who she wants to be, what she wants to change in her life, and how she wants to feel. And that intention is what then brings her to the motivation she needs to actually get up, go to the gym, do a workout, whatever it is that you want to achieve. James Clear also addresses this in his book, and he says it's a simple two-step process when you are trying to build a new habit. The first step is actually deciding the type of person that you want to be, and then the second step is proving it to yourself via small wins. The Hubspot guide also touches on this, but they broke it down into 3 things that are important to identify before you set a new habit, a new goal, trying to build a new system, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. The first one being, what is your authentic motivation to build or change something in your life? The second is to identify the simple actions that makes this habit achievable. And the third is to identify a trigger which causes an action, which then leads to a reward. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is it doesn't need to be hard. You don't need to make it really hard for yourself to build a habit. In fact, you should make it as easy as possible, because the baseline is you are trying to prove to yourself that you are the type of person that can start building a habit, because that belief system in yourself is what's going to continue to motivate you to continue that habit. So there's 4 things that you need to keep in mind when you're developing any new habit, and it's to 1, make it obvious, 2, make it attractive, 3, make it easy, and then 4, to make it satisfying. Making it obvious is pretty self-explanatory. You just want to identify, okay, this is how I want to feel, this is what I want to change, this is what I want to accomplish, this is how I'm going to do it. Then you want to make it really attractive and easy. We talk a lot about romanticizing our lives on social media, but I think that that's actually a great tactic to implement new habits or goals. Something you can try doing is habit stacking, which essentially means, okay, I already know every single morning I make a coffee. That's just one of my habits. And that's the habit that I'm probably never really going to give up. So you can stack whatever habit that you're trying to do on top of that habit. So for example, now, instead of every morning I'm going to make a coffee, it becomes every morning I'm gonna make a coffee and then I'm going to write today's date in a notebook. Let's say you're trying to build the habit of journaling. And you might be thinking to yourself, how is writing today's date in a journal or like in a notebook going to actually help me start journaling in the long run? Well, that's where the make it easy aspect comes in. You don't want to just hop right into, okay, my new habit that I'm trying to build is I want to do a 10-step workout routine every single day, twice a day. Like, that is impossible to accomplish and you're pretty much setting yourself up for failure. Make it super easy and break it down to like the simplest task. Every day you write the date down in a journal after you make your coffee. And then once you feel comfortable doing that, you can add on top of it. I'm gonna write the date down and then I'm just gonna write how I'm feeling in that moment. That's it. Make a coffee, write the date down, write down how I'm feeling. And then slowly over time, as you start believing in yourself that you can write the date down in your journal every single day, you're gonna be able to add on to that habit and continue to build it into whatever you want. Hell, one day, who knows, maybe you'll make a coffee, write the date down, and then write a freaking novel every single day. Who knows? Who knows? the possibilities are endless. You really have to try to reduce the friction of you just starting this habit, because when you first start, you just want to master the habit of showing up for yourself. The last thing, of course, is make it satisfying. So like, give yourself a reward after you complete this gateway habit or whatever part of the habit you're on. And you want to do this like as if you were training a dog, because positive reinforcement is going to be what helps you keep this habit going for the long run. Okay, you've had your great morning routine, you're on your way to building a new habit. The next thing I found that really started to make a difference in my overall productivity and motivation throughout a day was learning how to actually prioritize my tasks. I feel like for a long time, I just thought to myself, of course I prioritize. Like that's just, that's just basic human instincts, is to prioritize things. But I honestly don't think I was prioritizing in the right way for as long as I can remember. And once I started to actually think about and learn about prioritizing tasks, that really made a huge difference in how much work I was able to do in a day. Elizabeth Phillips is this awesome YouTuber who talks about productivity, but also kind of talks about like wellness and tips to actually achieving things rather than just like vague productivity tips. And one of her most recent videos actually talks about prioritization and scheduling, and she has this amazing tip that I'm going to share with you guys. But of course, I'm going to link her original video in the description if you want to watch it. It's so detailed and it's so good. I learned so much from it, and it really helped me with my own calendar organization and prioritization as well. But essentially, she talks about this idea of scheduling out your calendar and like prioritizing your tasks based on your energy level and your levels of temptation. The idea is when you're going throughout like a day, a single day, from when you wake up to when you go to bed at night, your energy levels goes from high energy to low energy. But you also have a level of temptation that goes from low to high. What this means is at the start of your day, this is when you have the most energy and the most like ability to resist temptation. And then as you go through your day, at the end of the day, this is when you have the lowest energy and the lowest ability to resist temptation. What this essentially means is you should be scheduling the things that take the longest, that requires the most brain power, or like is the easiest to want to abandon at the start of your day. This is because in the morning you have the energy and the brain power and the brain space to accomplish this task, while also being able to resist the temptation of like going to do something else fun or something else you'd rather do. She actually breaks her calendar up into 3 sections. The first section is where you should schedule all of your, like I said, high brain power, hard to do tasks, things that you would easily want to abandon. Then in the middle section of the day, you can do your still sort of high energy level, but things that maybe are a little bit more fun to you or some things that you want to do. And then save all of the things that you know you really want to do and that you have to do for later on in the day, because your ability to resist temptation is very low at the end of the day, plus your energy levels are much lower as well. I love this idea of prioritizing your tasks based on your energy levels and your ability to resist, because it really truly works. It just works. Like, give it a try, and I promise you it's gonna help with prioritizing so much. And then there are a bunch of other smaller things that I still think really help with keeping your day productive that I want to quickly touch on. One is making your meetings more efficient. I think we've all seen those memes that talk about how this meeting could have been in an email or this meeting could have been a Slack message. And of course, there's this aspect of, because a lot of people work from home, they're just craving human contact, so they just want to call you whenever they can, no matter how small the task. But oftentimes, having these calls and meetings all throughout your day is really going to break your focus on whatever task that you're doing. So you need to set boundaries at work. Make it known that you will not be taking meetings between this time and this time or on this day, or let your coworkers know, hey, can you just let me know what this meeting is going to be about before we have the meeting so I can see if I can like solve the issue or address your problems and concerns without having a call. But really it's just about setting boundaries and stating what you need to be your most productive self. Taking breaks is another really important thing for you to do to remain productive. And I know it sounds so counterproductive, but the moments that you let yourself breathe and take a break from your work it's actually time for you to recover your brain power, for you to be able to focus on something else. And focus is really something that you have to train yourself to do as well. You can't just one day be like, I'm gonna focus more, and then you're gonna be able to sit like 6 hours and deep zone into work and just do all of that. That's not really how it works. You really have to retrain your brain to being able to focus on a task for a long period of time. But in order to do that, you also have to give yourself adequate breaks throughout the day. Otherwise, it really just impossible and you're just forcing yourself into a burnout. One of the ways that you can try to do this is by using the Pomodoro technique. Super old technique, but I do find that it does help when I have days where I'm like, okay, my brain is just scattered and I just can't seem to get myself to focus on one thing. I whip out my Flow timer. Flow is the app that I use, but it's just a Pomodoro timer. And I start to section my workout in 25-minute blocks. I start 25 minutes, I do only that thing, and then once the alarm rings, I just take a 5-minute break. And I know this, again, sounds counterproductive to being able to work productively for a long time, but doing this method is just going to get your brain to start turning its cogs and being able to realize, okay, I see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on just one thing, even if it's just for 25 minutes, instead of it being like, I need to do this, wait, but I need to do that, wait, but I have this, and I have this meeting, and I've got this email to respond to. Ignore all of that, just focus on a task for 25 minutes, take a break, do 25 more, and that kind of gets your wheels going again for maybe the next day. Like I said, I got a bunch of really amazing questions from you guys via Discord, so thank you if you sent in a question for this video. I probably addressed them all earlier on the video already, but I'm just going to address them super directly here at the end of the video to make sure that I've covered the topic that you wanted to know about. Just Jasmine had asked, how do you stay motivated to be productive, especially when you're feeling down or lack the type of motivation to do anything? Your opinion on the mindset of people feeling the need to be productive 24/7, to feel like we aren't wasting our day away, and then what tools do you use to be productive throughout your week? Any tips or tricks you've learned to be productive instead of counterproductive? So on that first question, when you're feeling down or lacking the motivation to do anything, I think it comes back to setting that intention. Nobody wakes up every single day and is just automatically motivated to just do things. I know it seems like that on social media, like a lot of people try to create their content around this, like, yeah, like I'm motivated every single day to like work out, or like I'm motivated every single day to like get that coin. But the truth is, it's not possible. Really, let's just start with the intention. Like, I want to set this intention to feeling my best today, and that intention is what's going to get my ass to go for a hot girl walk or get my ass to the gym. I think really it's all about mindset, and it sounds so cheesy, but that's just what I'm learning as life goes on. It's like, it's all about your mindset. Like, wake up, set the intention of how you want to feel, who you want to be that day, how you want to tackle your problems. Like, set that intention first, and I think with that intention will come the motivation to actually do the things. About my opinion on people needing to feel productive 24/7, I definitely fell into that trap pretty hard when I first started working. I was like kind of equating the number of hours that I spent sitting at my desk working every day to how productive I actually was, which one led to a lot of anxiety attacks and burnouts, but also second, like, I started to realize, yeah, sure, I may spend 17 hours of my day sitting at this desk doing things, but is my quality of work great? No. How am I feeling? Awful. Like, there was just so much that I feel like wasn't going well, or wasn't going right, or wasn't going the way I wanted to when I was doing all of that. So my opinion is, I think it's crazy that, you know, we have this mindset that we need to be on 24/7 or we need to be productive 24/7. Like, it really isn't about that. You need to take into consideration your life, the rest of your life, and how you feel and your mental state. Like, there's so much to consider other than this productivity aspect. Nathan Sandwich asks, how do you balance productivity without getting burnt out? And I think I did answer that, which is taking breaks and just being easy on yourself, but also the prioritization part is so important. It's so important. Prioritization also means prioritizing your mental health, your physical health, prioritizing giving yourself the time to watch your favorite show at night, because giving yourself the time to take those breaks and doing the things that you want, the satisfying things, is also what's going to make you more motivated the next day to do the things that you need to do. Paper Cup actually asks, how do you stay in the zone? Well, I think it's a matter of training your brain to be able to get into the zone first. Like I said, with the Pomodoro technique, I find that that really helps me retrain my brain to being able to focus on a task. Prioritizing my workload really helps me retrain my brain and to be able to focus on a task. And then once you kind of get into the flow of that, of showing up for yourself and realizing that you can focus on a task for an X amount of time, that's when you're able to actually get back into that mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna set myself like 4 hours to do this and I'm gonna be able to do it. So I think it's all about showing up for yourself and just realizing and building that confidence of like, okay, well, I know that I can do this because I've done it at like all these different levels. So me staying in the zone for 3 hours or 4 hours to accomplish something, easy, I got this. The last question is from Shalom Bay. How do you stay productive all the time? Do you not feel sleepy at all? What helps you to stay productive? I don't stay productive all the time. I definitely feel sleepy throughout the day. And if I feel super sleepy and it's not even something that like a cup of coffee is going to help me with, I take a 30-minute nap or a 20-minute nap or a 10-minute nap during my lunch break. Like, I do what I need to continue to function throughout the day. So like, listen to your body, find ways to listen to your body more and give it what it needs to continue to function. I think that's like the overall theme of this video. Like, really just listen to yourself and take care of yourself, because that's the only way that you're gonna be able to continue to do work, period. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Whether you found the practical tips helpful or whether you found the mindset tips helpful, I hope that you are able to learn something from this video that helps you have a more productive, well-rounded day. If you want to participate in a future video, make sure you go and join my Discord channel where I ask you guys all the time on video advice. Like I mentioned, I do have a Patreon page as well, so all of the links to my socials, my Patreon, my Discord, they're all going to be in the description box below. Make sure to also check out Hubspot's free downloadable guide. It's going to be in the description box as well. But I hope you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in my next video.